morning. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kyle Babcock, and I went to Mars Hill this year, and I've been going for the past now 2 years. My experience at Mars Hill was something that you can only experience through the power of Christ. Mars Hill has really changed my life and made me into a better person than I was 2 years ago. The lives that you change by going really, it doesn't really give you pride. It doesn't give you any of that, which is what I thought it would do, which is just to make myself feel better. But I thought it was just like any other mission trip. You go down there, you do a bunch of stuff, and you feel like you're doing something, but something different is different with Mars Hill. I worked with great people to help the people do amount of great work at Mars Hill. There have been a lot of good moments in my life, but nothing really compares to the feeling that you get when you help somebody who's in desperate need, and it's really life-changing. Even though I've only been going for 2 years, I can already tell that this is going to be the start of my faith with Christ for real. Lately, me and God have been apart for some time because of me neglecting and resenting him and not believing the true word of the gospel. But I can honestly say today that today is the official day that I become a full-blood Christian. And I'm thankful to the support of my family, Matt Wilcox, Adam Evol, and Pastor Noe for all helping me through this trip and helping me gain my life back. All of these people have given me the opportunity to rebound and become the man that I truly want to be. I love the verse in John 13, verse 1 through 5. As we just told, it relates a story about how Jesus washed the feet of the disciples right before he was going to die. I mean, he didn't party, he didn't cry, he didn't smile. He washed the disciples' feet. He became a servant, and that's how he went out. That message really showed me how much character he had, how much he really wanted to show what it truly meant to be a Christian. I strive to be the man, and I truly am honored to be a servant of God starting today. I encourage all of you, whether you're 5, 20, 70, please come and help us join us in Mars Hill. I can guarantee you it'll change your life just like it did mine.
I don't know how to follow that. We'll take a run at it, but just in case. My name's Chris McKim. I've been a member of Highland here for 20 years, a little bit more. But I'm here to thank you again for your support. This congregation gives without limits to this project. And we're here to make sure it's a success, and it has been again. So thank you. Mars Hill's in Madison County, North Carolina. It's very poor. Squalor that some of you probably have never seen before. It's a strong tradition here to send an intergenerational group down to this area and work the work sites and serve the people, from the very young to the very old, Bob Kutz. We can relate this, our journey to the verse, John, that Kyle mentioned. Remarkable insight, by the way. Jesus washed the feet. It was an act of service, but it was also an act of humility. He was willing to do the dirty job to be a leader. And we had some dirty jobs. I've been asked to say what it means, the trip to Mars Hill, what it means to me. Well, for me, it's a retreat with my family. And it serves as a retreat in general, but for my family as well, and exposes our children and our young adults to experiences they may not have seen before. I know we had some folks on my site never used a miter saw before, maybe never hammered nails into a roofing before. So neat new experiences, and everybody learns something. We meet others' real needs. This isn't playing around, folks. This is stuff that they need and they don't have until we get there. So one of them is Brandy and Keith was a site that we had, and Keith has MS, and he knows that his life and his abilities may soon deteriorate. And he had a great concern for the safety of his family. He's got a 10-month-old child, excuse me. He had a roof that was going to give him problems very soon. We fixed his roof, dryer. He had some unsafe flooring. So the ladies of the group led in giving him a new pergo floor and a safe transition into a new carpeted floor, and repaired some of the problems there. Now, he said he has a peaceful feeling that when he's finally in a wheelchair, he'll be able to move back and forth. And also, he had a great concern for his young child. I don't know if it was a boy or a girl, but he had safety concerns for her. We helped a stroke victim named So-So. Get ready. He had trouble getting in the shower. Among other things, the place was a wreck, but his bathroom, he couldn't get in his tub because he had to lift his leg up. So, a very proud man. Wouldn't take any help getting out of his chair. But he was glad that we were there to help him, and we put in, among other things, a new water heater, and I think it was a new water heater, right, Jim? Yeah, new water heater. Basically gave him a whole new handicap-accessible bathroom. So now the man can take a shower without worrying about falling over. And he's tough. He had tough time getting around. There was Jerry, the victim of an ATV accident that left himself somewhat paralyzed. And for the first few days, I understand at his site, he never got off the couch. He was an avid gardener, and this accident had taken its toll. And I understand that our site leaders and our youth not only worked on fixing, he had a giant hole in the side of his house that had to be covered. They put in air conditioning for him. They put in a new door so they could use that, what used to be a room, now is a porch. And also the kids came, and some of the adults, Nancy Tate, weeded his garden and took it from a jungle into something that actually looked like a garden. And he was on his feet. He came out, he saw it, he smiled. The quilts. Who's on the quilting? The Quilters of Highland. Can you stand up, please? The Quilters of Highland send quilts with us every year to give to our site, our homeowners. And what a value. You people work all year long on those quilts. And in one moment, where we can heal the house, you heal their hearts. They really appreciate the hard work, and it's some of the most emotional times seeing those homeowners with those quilts, so thank you. Another thing that this trip means to me is the camaraderie. If you don't know this, Adam Evolt, our interim youth director, and his wife were married the Saturday that everybody left, the Saturday just before Mars Hill. Now, everybody else in this room probably went on their honeymoon the next day. Not the Evolts, they came to Mars Hill. They're on their honeymoon now, so we wish them the best. And their phones are off. We never quit. We had two sites. So-So's site, which was led by Jim Eberly, and Tim's site, who's led by Jack McKim, who gave us such trouble. One thing led to another. And that's one of the things we learn in Mars Hill, is that we have to roll with it. So that's probably going to be our new motto. I think it's in the book of Hezekiah, if anybody, you can check that, yeah. But with those two sites, there wasn't enough time in the day. So we worked at night, specifically those guys. So I'd like to give them a big round of applause. So yes, the camaraderie also leads us. There's going to be a lot of inside jokes that not everybody gets. If you want to be in on them, come next year, please. But we did have 3 things that came out of it that I noticed. Only in Mars Hill is the thing that you count on is roll with it. Only in Mars Hill will you hear the terms, what happens in room 304 stays in room 304. And only in Mars Hill will you hear one Presbyterian say to another, if the cops show up, I'll do the talking. So we meet new friends. Nancy Tate. For me, I had not met Nancy, Naomi, Karis, or Caroline Daniker, and what great people they are, and I'm so glad to have met you. And I deepened some friendships with old friends, and I'm grateful for that. So I'm also supposed to invite you, if you haven't been, or if you haven't recently, please come. I'm not going to just invite you, I'm going to urge you. It will change your life, like Kyle said. So what's holding us back from that? Previous commitments? Get out your little calendars, get out your little phone, whatever it is you have. Last full week of July is the general, usually what we do. I'm not asking you to carve it in stone. Put Mars Hill from July 23rd to July 29th, little question mark. That'll remind you that that's a week. If you can keep it open, and then don't get married or anything on that week, please. What else might be holding you back? You think you have a lack of ability? We've got a job for you. It doesn't matter. If you can build a house with your eyes closed, or if you can hold a paintbrush, if you can hold a conversation, we can use you. I'm not kidding. It's a long trip. It is. But it is beautiful. You should see the mountains down there if you haven't. Sometimes that might be worth it. And general apprehension, you got questions, not sure what it's all about. Well, some of this shows up, this is a taste, but it's not the real flavor. But I would challenge you to find anybody who's been there. That's why we're in uniform today. Or the first timers. They're the ones that are the best converts. Ask any one of us, and we'll be glad to share with you all the beautiful things that can be part of your life if you come to Mars Hill. So with that, I thank you for your support once again.